Hey, this is Britt from Spoon, and these are records in my life.
And the world still so wild, called to me. I was lost.
Hi, Brett.
Hi.
How are you?
All right, how are you?
Good. Thanks so much for being on, for taking the time to be on Records in My Life. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, man, it's good to talk to you.
Are you in Austin today, back home, or?
I'm in Austin, yeah. Where are you?
We are in Vancouver, BC.
Oh, nice.
And how did everything go in Los Angeles last week? Because we were going to do it last week, and you got called on to do some live TV.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, that was release week, and it was a crazy week. But as far as release weeks go, you know, sometimes I can enjoy the chaos, and sometimes it's too much. Last week was it was good. It was good chaos.
That's great. Now, thanks again for being on Records My Life. We're talking about your new record, Lucifer On the Sofa, which just dropped last week via Matador Records. And I'm surrounded by music obsessed people that I just talk about music all the time, and they're saying that this is the best Spoon record that has come out. Like, bar none. We've had this discussion. Now, how do you feel personally about this?
How do I feel about it? Yeah, that's good. That's better than the other way around, right? I mean, it feels like I can't think of a lot of bands who've been putting out records this long that are doing what that are doing their, you know, some people say is their best work. So that's good. It's been a good week.
How did the process for this record go? I know because you had and forgive me, you had your touring guitarist play a bit extra on this record.
Yeah, we had the whole band played on the record. Yeah,
because it doesn't always work out that way with Spoon records. So there was some lovely, you know, kind of the guitar. Some of the guitar sounds were really kind of in a different direction. It was more of a rocky album. Am I wrong on that one?
No, I think you're right about that. That was the idea, to make a full-on rock record this time, and there's some where it kind of divulges off of that path, but for the most part, I think that's what we did. Yeah, we've never had a guitar solo like Gerardo played on The Hardest Time.
Yeah, there was some awesome. There were some really beautiful sounds on that. Some guitar sounds on that. Not to say the guitar, but not to say the guitar was lacking in the past. But on this record, they really kind of jumped out. Were you highly encouraging them to like to step up
Yeah, I mean, I think I wrote the sort of the thrust of the rhythm guitar pattern on that one, but then he did the solo, and Alex came up with the chords. So it was sort of a group effort on that one. And when it came time to do the solo, I said to him, give us a little Dave Davies, you know, like play some. I wanted him to play a solo that I could never fucking play, you know, so that we're doing something new. And you know, I think it was that, you know, garage era Kinks that I was thinking about, like a solo off of maybe that first album or kind of Kinks or something.
Any songs you're most proud of on the record? They're all your babies. It's a tough call, but are there?
Yeah, I mean, I think, damn, I really do like all the songs on it. If I had to pick one today, I think that the dark horse maybe Feels All Right. I really like that one. I thought it might be a single, but it didn't. Doesn't look like that's going to happen, but they picked some other good singles. So.
Yeah, the singles.
I like that one a lot. I just don't. It's got a good vibe for it.
Texas has produced like a long line of interesting bands. There's something in the water out there. I mean, there's everybody. I mean, you have bands like Ministry, and you'll know us by the Trail of the Dead, and I think Roky Erickson. There are many like different Willie Nelson.
Right.
What are some of the bands that inspired you along the way?
From Texas?
Yes, from Texas.
Well, definitely 13th Floor Elevators. Yeah. You know, that was a band that I would hear whispers about all through for years when I was really young, but there was no way to get a record. at least not in my hometown of Temple, Texas, because we had record stores in the mall, although they were pretty good for mall record stores. I had to go to Dallas to get my first 13th Floor Elevators record, and that was big.
Which album was that?
Huh?
Which record was that?
The first one I got was not their best record. It was Bull of the Woods, which is good. It has like this song "Living On" it. That's amazing. It has "May the Circle Remain Unbroken," which is the last song on it. It's just like this gorgeous mood piece that kind of drones and sends the record off into outer space. But I really think for my money, the first album and Easter Everywhere have so many more gems on them. But yeah, there's something about Texas that, you know, you think of it as being or at least when I was growing up, what I knew of Texas music was very blues oriented or country oriented, and there's that for sure. The cool thing about Austin is that kind of has always coexisted with 13th Floor Elevators and Butthole Surfers,
right?
And these weird things, and there's somehow always seemed like you could go to a backyard party and be around a keg and there'd be people that loved both of those kinds of music.
Let's go back to when you guys first met. What are a couple of records on the bulletin board? You're forming the band and you're saying you're looking for someone that's into, you know, the Beatles or the Kinks. Like which albums did you and Jim bond over?
Well, funny thing is that we were in a band before Spoon, and that band was sort of the directive of that band was to be started out as, let's have it be a country band. It didn't really ever go there. There were country-ish elements, but it was more sort of like a rootsy rockabilly band. And so that was all I thought that Jim could play, because he walked in and was straight away was able to do like a swing kind of shuffle kind of thing. And we did that band for about 9 months. And then I started thinking about putting together the band that would become Spoon. And I actually made him audition, and he could play it. He could play a different style of music. But the things that at that time, I really wanted to, you know, I was all about the Pixies and PJ Harvey. And he was very, very into the Smiths. I think he was really into U2 as well. But we could bond over those things. You know, I had every Smiths record and knew it by heart. And I think I turned him on to PJ Harvey pretty hard back then. But yeah, it would be like Rid of Me, Doolittle, Strangeways by the Smiths, you know.
Pretty fine. Pretty good records.
Yeah.
Still hold up today.
Yeah.
What's a record you have recently revisited that you can't take off the turntable or your phone?
Well, I went through this phase about 4 months ago where I got really into the Cult Electric again, which is a record that came out in 1987, and I, you know, got it right when it came out. Loved it then. Saw Guns N' Roses open for them.
Fantastic.
But I still love that record. It was the thing I liked about it at the time was it was kind of a revelation. It was that they had just, you know, it was the time of the 80s where they had it was all about digital reverb and as much effects as you can pour on everything, and the Cult were as guilty of that as anyone on the records before, like Love, that came out a few years before. And then out of the blue, they came out with this electric record that Rick Rubin produced, and it was dry as could be, you know, and it was just straightforward rock and roll. And the fact that it didn't have any reverb on it, you know, everything was just like flat in your face. And it was something about that was, now it doesn't seem like such a weird move, but in that moment it was, you know, it was shocking, you know, and a lot of people would hear that record and just be like, what is this? And what, you know, it's like the gutsiest rock record anyone had heard since the 70s, probably, you know. So, and I still love that record. It's just full on rock and roll. Sometimes even kind of dumb rock and roll, but I fucking love it. You know?
Yeah, that was their first really kind of like straight ahead hard rock record, right?
Yeah, and then the one after that was they were in arenas, you know.
Right.
But to me, it said more about what Rick Rubin could do than, you know, even the Beastie Boys record. You know, that was, I kind of knew him from that world, and for him to have like turned this band around from this sort of goth, I don't know.
That's right. They were a gothy. They were a gothy type of like the Mission, right? They all, I think they all had that same attire as Wayne Hussey and those guys.
This was more like AC/DC.
Yeah.
You know? It was just amazing what he could pull out of him, you know.
I got a geopolitical question for you. I know that Tesla is opening a factory in your backyard there in Austin. Elon Musk. So you're let's say this is like situation, you meet Elon Musk and he says, Brett, I want to take you up. I want to take you in the rocket. You can take one record with you. You're allowed, this is all you're allowed to take with you. Which record do you take into space?
For experiencing outer space, I might pick something that was sort of like a chill out record. And one of my favorite kind of records that's like a chill out mood piece is, you know that record Perfect Prescription by Spaceman 3?
Yes.
Maybe that'd be perfect for
That's
a rock,
a good choice.
because it has that exploding, super loud, aggressive, in your face song that starts it out, and then you start coasting. Maybe that's perfect for a rocket trip, you know.
That's definitely a good pick. Brett, thanks again for doing this. So just a couple more quick questions and we'll let you get on. You've been really patient. I appreciate it. My nephew, I'm trying to set him, he's going on a date and I want to help. He asked me to help him set it up. So music, what's a good icebreaker, good album, romantic record to kind of, you know, set the mood of the date?
What's something he's going to play while she's at his house, or he's at
in the car or in the you know, in the house? One of those.
You know, you could say maybe some Prince record, maybe a Sam Cooke record, maybe like Sam Cooke, that one of those live records he did. I'm forgetting the title of it though.
Yeah, there's one he did in like Brooklyn, I think, live in Brooklyn or live in
like Harlem Square or something.
Yes, sorry, that's it. Yeah, live Harlem Square. That's a good one.
You could say What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. You know, it's not, minus the topical aspects of it, it's just a really cool groove that sets in, and kind of like one song feeds into another, and you just kind of are in this really nice chill world for a bit.
Yeah, it's got beautiful flow. Great romantic record.
Yeah.
Weed, wine, or water to listen to your favorite record?
Me?
And to write.
Weed.
Yes. Weed, wine, or water?
To listen, maybe weed. Yeah, it's kind of the most intense experience. Intense way of experiencing a record, and I like that. I like to be able to focus in and for it to be intense and loud, you know. It kind of makes me really feel it, whether we're talking like rock music or chill out music or classical music or jazz music. Just the louder it is, the more I personally feel it. For writing, I might say water. I like to drink a lot of water.
That's a lot of people choose that.
Yeah.
That answer. That's a good one.
It clears my head. You know, it kind of, if I'm feeling a little, like earlier today, I don't know if you noticed, but I had some coffee and I'm feeling a little cracked out. So right before we sat down, I got a big glass of water. I drank one. Now I'm going to drink another one.
Water is like the natural.
Yeah. Kind of gets me grounded a little bit.
We were talking about your earlier years before. What would you consider the record of your generation? High school years generation.
High school years generation?
Yeah.
Maybe the Violent Femmes first record. I felt like when I was in high school, that was a record that everybody kind of everybody took their turn with that record. Everybody went through a phase where they found it and kind of claimed it for themselves. And it sang about, you know, he was singing about subjects that were so relevant to a high schooler, you know, like just the simple, like, you know, songs about getting the car, being able to take the car out for the night, or songs about like how his lust was so like couldn't handle his lust, and he like, I look at your pants and I need a kiss, you know. It's just like, and songs about masturbation, and it's just like it's amazing. I think it's like a 5-star record for sure.
Coffee with an artist, alive or dead?
Coffee with an artist, alive or dead? I mean, I'm tempted to say John Lennon, you know, if you really want to get down to it. If you're gonna, if this is a fantasy, then why not go for the top?
Right. You know? Exactly. Words of wisdom for Spoon fans and our audience.
Drink lots of water. Be willing to make mistakes. Learn from the mistakes. Don't let the mistakes get you down. Just use them as a way to catapult yourself to somewhere better. How's that?
Fantastic. Perfect. Britt, thanks so much for doing it. We appreciate it more than you know. Love the record. It sounds great.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you're liking it. And it was really nice talking to you. I hope we get to see you in Vancouver.
Yeah, definitely. We look forward to it. Thank you again. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Mark Henning, the director and editor of Records in My Life. Guess you liked it because we're here at the end of the video, so hit like, leave us a comment, and subscribe. And if you're feeling supportive, consider clicking over to patreon.com/RIMLTV, and you can help us out there. Cheers. See you next time.